Welcome friends, welcome to JCE Connect. Now today we are going to discuss a new way to remember the specification or new way to how to write the specification. Now you can see the screen. Now what I did is that, see, if you know the basic idea of excavation or how the excavation is carried out on the field, so you can easily write down the specification for that. Usually we work out the things on the field by referring the specification only, but it will be vice versa. If you want to do the no, if you want to write the specification for that in the examination, then you should know how to execute that thing on the field. Now this is what all about the excavation. I have taken the quantity for the excavation in the item excavation I am going to discuss now. Uh, just I said that if you are having the basic knowledge of all the field execution work, then you can easily write down the specification for all kind of a work, right? So try to know the things. See, in the excavation, what we are going to do, see, suppose first you are going to have the line out for that, right? Then according to that line out, you have to do the excavation, means you have to do the digging out the that whatever marking you are going to do there on the ground, right? So that thing now, after digging whatever material it is you are going to get, that material, how to throw that material or what to do with that material, that will be there. And then how to measure it and how to take the money for that, so that all things comes in the specification. So sequentially I have arranged here. The first thing you can see there, first point. Now, first point is starting the work. As I said that how to start the work, it shall be carried out according to the drawings, right? And then based on the type of soil. So you have to start that work. Now, first line out will be there. On that line out, you are supposed to decide how many workers are going to work there, or you are going to use the excavator for that. Then you're supposed to start the work. The starting of the work is directly dependent here. As I said that it depends on the soil condition as well as on the drawing. So first item that what I have framed is starting of the work. Then second, workmanship, means how you are going to start the work, with the labor or with the excavator. With the excavator, there is no problem that it goes on excavating the thing, but if the labor you are using, then you have to make care of so many things, even if the you are using the excavator also. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that all sides should be protected, and then the side should be truly vertical, right? And should be uniform, so that the whatever the foundation work you are going to carry out afterwards, that should be proper in the place. So that you have to keep in mind. Then next item, after excavation, see, you have started the work, you have did the excavation. Then after excavation, what you are going to do with that material? You're not supposed to throw that material there only. There are few rules that what you have to follow. What it says is that, see, excavated material shall be stacked away from the side of trench by at least 2 meter. Then whatever the surplus should be there, that should lead up to 100 meter. Means, see, after excavation you should get the material, and you should store there no for at least 2 meter. Means at least 2 meter the storing should be there from that particular place, so that while working, that sand should not come in, or so that material should not come in, right? That you have to make sure. Then you should, if probable possible, then you should throw that material 100 meter away from that particular working area. That we call as a lead, right? Lead and lift, that concept you have to understand, means lifting and carrying that material away from that. Else you can use that material in the plinth filling also. That is the what about excavated material. Then next, you have to make sure some of the things before starting the excavation. You have to understand whether you will be having the pipings there, or whether you will be having the pipelines, where you will be having the cable networking there, or sewer line there below that area where you are working. That you have to keep in mind, and you have to make sure that those will be protected. As I said that existing services shall be, no, those should be protected. Existing servicing such as water pipes, sewer, electric cables, all these should be protected. Then protected by the responsibility of protection will be with the contractor, as per the instruction from the engineer. Then measurement, you are supposed to carry the measurement. You are carrying out the quantity, how you are going to measure it. See, if you want to take the money from that, or if you want to no use it, or if you want to take a payment for that, then you are supposed to no do the measurement and take the payment. So you're supposed to take it according to the length, width, and depth. The quantity will be a volume, it's a meter cube quantity. So that's how the measurement you are supposed to do. And then the rate, it will be including, see, the timbering work what you are using for the protection, and the rate depends on the type of soil also, which type of soil is there. For no loose soil, the rate will be very less. For hard soil, where you will be taking so much effort, the rate will be high. So this is what the way of using, or the no remembering, or you can call it as what writing the excavation. See, you can write these things in a paragraph, right? No need of writing in a frame, that what I have shown here. This is for your understanding, but in examination you make sure that you'll be writing the heading, like see this is first heading, that's starting of work, then below that you can make a para of that by remembering these punching lines. See, these are the very important lines, right? So this we call them as a punching line. So this is what you have to do, this is how you have to work it out with the specification. This is the specification for earthwork excavation. Now, second item what you are carrying out is specification for dam proof course. How the dam proof course are laid. See, the basic idea of dam proof course, you know that where we lay that, we lay it on the plinth. When the work comes up to the plinth level, then we have the dam proof course there. So we are laying it. So it is a concrete item, and we are laying it as we lay the normal concrete. So this what the basic idea of the dam proof course. But this you have to write in a sequence. So the sequence what I have made here, this is the sequence that how I'm going to understand that, or I'm going to keep it in my mind. Then the each sequence you are supposed to elaborate. Now here what I have shown here, you can see that first sequence is proportion. So there will be a proportion given by the engineer. So you have to make sure that you'll be adding all the ingredients based on that particular proportion only. So prescribed ratio should be maintained, and then sand, aggregate, cement, sand and aggregate, that ratio you have to maintain. Then usual thickness of dam proof course is also maintained, that you have to keep in mind. So usual thickness is 25 mm to 40 mm. This is the dam proof course thickness. Then if you go to the coarse aggregate, the particle should be, we called it as what, no, the particle should be free from all kinds of impurities, and the size should be of 12 mm to 6 mm. You have to make sure that the jelly or aggregate what you are using as a coarse aggregate, that should be less than 20 mm. Then about the fine aggregate, as I said, that should also free from the no that also free from the impurities, and the average will be of 5 mm, and less than that it should be a bit grainy soil you are supposed to use there, sand you're supposed to use there. Then next, cement fresh and comply with the standard requirement, means you should, the cement what you are using should follow all the requirements, and it should stand all the tests there. So that what you have to keep in mind. You can write few states also, which test you are going to carry out on the field as well as in the laboratory. That also you can write here in this, right? So for the cement. The next is waterproofing compound. The waterproofing compound to be used shall be of a standard specification, and water to be used shall be clean and fresh. That you have to keep in mind. Now this you are going to mix along with the water, so you have to make sure that that waterproof compound should normally go with the standards what you are using.